Damn, this thing looks great. I think I prefer the single arm. It's still got so much pep to it. It's pretty sick. Alrighty, and now we're taking out the S1000 single R. I believe this is a sport, so not the race, but just the sport edition. Doesn't have the forged wheels, but I don't think I need them, to be honest. I love this blue, what do they call it? Blue Fire Magello? Because that yellow is the Magello color. Quite unique, actually. It reminds me of that 2012 blue S1000 RR they had. Kind of like it. Anyway, let's see what this is like compared to the RR. Now, this bike's had a bit of a whoopsie by someone else on a test ride, so brake levers snapped. Already this feels a lot more comfortable. It's so much easier to flick over that riding position, you know. So much more comfortable. Not that the RR's specifically like really uncomfortable. It's not like an R6 or an R1 or something like that. The RR is quite comfortable for what it is, a sport bike, but it just can't compete with an upright naked, you know. The get up and go is almost identical, if not slightly better. So adjust these mirrors a bit. I'll probably get the bar ends just because I don't love the bunny rabbit ears. Aside from that, everything else is basically the same tech. I don't think you get the slide control on this, but same auto blipper, quick shifter, nice and smooth. Can downshift when you've got the throttle open, things like that. Still have cruise control. The one thing I noticed with this is when I press this, see dynamic or road, so I can adjust it so road's a little bit softer, more comfortable. But if you saw, you can also adjust it for pillion mode. So 2 helmets, 2 people. So if you want to chuck your friend or your partner on the back, you can easily adjust it on the fly. No need to get the spanner out. Of course, you can still adjust the manual preload, but this just helps if you just want a quick ride and can't be bothered with that. The other thing to consider, the single R is quite a bit cheaper than the RR. I think Sport on both. I think the Sport S1000R is 29 Australian, 29,000 Australian. The Sport RR is, I think, 31, so like maybe $2 difference. I kind of like this black and blue. It looks sick, these blue accents. Handling on both is incredible. You're not sacrificing handling. So on this S1000, you've got it's ready for the GPS system that you can purchase separately and to have your maps on, but to be honest, I wouldn't option that. I think it just gets in the way. Nothing wrong with just a quad lock and your phone there if you need it, or have your turn-by-turn navigation on your screen there. So to be honest, waste of money. my preference, but if you want it, sure, go ahead. Okay, so one thing to note, the handlebars are obviously quite a bit higher and closer to you versus the RR. Brakes are good, but they don't feel quite as good as the RR, not quite as much initial bite. Now we're going on the same road as before because I want to really give an accurate comparison between them. This feels more than enough power, realistically. This is so much fun. I think I prefer the single arm. It's still got so much pep to it. But without that forward on your wrist riding position. Why don't more people buy these? Yeah, okay, they don't look as cool maybe with the fairings, etc. It still looks pretty cool though with those new headlights that sort of look like they come from a RR, you know, the DRLs. I found the 24 and earlier S1000R with the single headlight. Yeah, it's okay, but it looks a bit like an F900 headlight. Insert here, which I don't think is what's the word? It's synonymous with sport bike, you know, S1000. Holy moly! See, okay. I feel like I'm having more fun on this. The torque down low feels stronger and the sense of speed is way more evident without this windscreen. If you are a road rider that goes to the track, say 6 times a year or more, sure, get the RR. But if you're a 99% road rider, what are you doing riding a RR? And that's coming from someone who owned and rode a RR for 4 years. This is sick, man. Hold on, let's check what modes. Dynamic Pro, okay. Now we've got the crackles. Oh. Nah, this is it, man. This is sick. Oh, I actually love this. Okay. I think that's what it really comes down to. Ignore paper specs. Ignore what has more horsepower, blah, blah, blah. Ignore all of that. Take them both out for a test ride, back to back, just like I've done. And what makes you smile more? If it's the RR, get the RR. But I'm telling you from my experience right now, I'm enjoying this single R a lot more. I'm not sure why. I just think it feels more fun and hooligan. Okay, so RR, I think on those like really nice long sweeping corners where you can carry high corner speed, RR is probably better because you can hang off a bit better. But there's not many of those corners where I live. A lot of the twisties I go to are very, very tight. Like very tight corners. Left, right, left, right, left, right, you know? And for that sort of cornering, the single R with the wide bars, way more leverage to just flick it left and right, left and right. Nah, this is more fun. It's more fun. pops seem more prominent on this bike, even though it's got a worse exhaust. Like, it doesn't have the acro, it just has that stock silver thing. In terms of wind noise, at least at the speeds I'm going, don't notice a difference. Okay, let's do that tight U-turn that we did. Oh yeah, it's so much easier on a single R with these upright bars. Way easier. Alrighty. Damn, this thing looks great. And here we have the 2025 S1000 single R. So I've just come off the double R M Sport. Now I'm comparing it to the single R just to see what the differences are. Got in this beautiful, I think it's Blue Fire Magello paint code. So I'm not sure if it's picking it up on camera, but these blue fairings are a lot darker in real life than some of the photos you see online, which I actually like. It really pops. Reminds me of that 2012 S1000 RR blue they did, sort of that baby blue. But if you cut off the bike from about here, that's double R back. The only difference is the handlebars. A lot higher, a lot more comfortable. And unlike the 24 S1000 single R model, you now have these dual LED headlights, which look fantastic. Let's see if I can start this up for you. You've got keyless start on the single R, you don't get that on the double R. So I find it a lot easier when you're, turning the bike on and off. Don't have to plug in a key. The only time you need the key is if you're getting fuel out, which is a bit annoying actually. I wish they did something similar to the Yamaha MT-09 where the fuel tank's keyless as well. That would be handy because then you never have to touch the key. Yeah, look at those running lights. It just makes it look so much more aggressive now. I know a lot of people online say, oh, it looks similar to the Street Triple headlights, which I can see that comparison, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think they look amazing. And you've got that single R in the air duct intake. That looks really cool. Not sure about this plastic. I wonder if you could change that for like a carbon fiber, maybe some aftermarket fairing piece. But if you go for the M1000 single R, you get an M there in the intake instead of the R. So an M1000R is on the contender list as a potential bike I might buy, but I think the problem I might have with the M1000R is it's too fast, especially for a naked. I think this is the perfect value for money because you get a lot of torque, a lot of power, a lot of comfort, but it's usable power for the road. It's not excessive. I found my older video, if you look back on my videos at the M1000R test ride from 2024, I found that bike difficult to fully open the throttle, especially with wheelie control turned down because the bike just wants to wheelie everywhere. This will still wheelie easily, but it's not as uncontrollable. As I mentioned before, most of the tech is the same, except you get this little suspension button, which allows you to adjust the suspension on the fly, have it in road mode that's more comfortable, or dynamics that firms it up for twisties. Also have a pillion mode so you can adjust for extra weight on the back. It's pretty good. Gotta love that S1000 cold start. Revs more when you first turn on. I think this is the bike, man. So at those higher speeds, you definitely feel the wind a lot more on your neck and your head. A little bit more buffeting, but as a road bike, I'm not sitting at that high speed for a long period of time. I'm doing this speed more often. So what is the better bike for what you're doing more often? I'd say this bike. You can still do the high speed stuff, but it wouldn't be pleasant to sit there all day. On the double R before, I was doing 60k in third gear and I rolled on and there wasn't much there. So let's see what this is like. it does feel stronger. And for me, that must just come down to a gearing change. Alright, and we'll do our U-turn as we did before. No one's behind me. I can turn around without stopping. Double R, I had to back up from memory. Let's check the footage. Okay, that seemed a lot easier. This is fast enough. It feels fast, but not too fast. There's a very big difference. Let's put suspension back into road, because these roads are quite bumpy. Oh! It did the pop. Yep. This is the better bike, I reckon. Much better. S1000R is more fun, I'm telling you. The handling is so good. Yeah, boy. I actually think I'm a faster rider on the single R. It just feels less effort somehow to maneuver it through corners. Something to do with the riding position. The only thing about the M, I guess it has that sex appeal being an M model, you know, in the wings and the M badge and all that. But if this was the M, you know, if it had all the M badging on it, would I need anything more? I don't think I need anything more. I think with the short gearing, I'm changing gears more often, which feels to me more fun and engaging. The double R, I feel like they're so long, you can leave it in second gear for a lot longer. Ah, oh, dude, this bike's so capable. Oh, I love it. Nah, this is it. This is it. The double R looks cool, I'll give you that. It looks really cool, but the R's more fun. It's more comfy too. I could do this all day. Now, in terms of riding position, obviously I said before, it's more upright than the double R. Yes. But it's not as upright as, say, like MT-09, Street Triple, other nakeds. It's still canted forward a little bit. My back feels quite upright, but it must be like still quite more of an aggressive sort of naked position. See, for street use, like these roundabouts and sort of mini chicane sort of things, just to be new, lots of punch.